Scenic Hotel Group, a place to stay no matter your staycation. From the Legacy Collection, Scenic Hotels, Suites and Resorts, and Heartland Hotels. Find your place to stay at scenichotelgroup.co.nz.
To the Wellington Phoenix men, who take on Sydney FC tonight, 7 o'clock at the refurbished Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Before the team jetted out yesterday, I spoke to coach Ufuk Talay. Asked him first of all what the review of last weekend's 3-1 loss to Melbourne City had thrown up.
Look, I think there was a lot of positives in the way that we played. I think performance-wise, I thought we played some really good football at times. Result-wise, obviously, it's a negative because we need to win games. We play games to get the result, and unfortunately, we weren't clinical enough to put those opportunities away, and then we walk away empty-handed.
I think I asked you after the game whether you can train being clinical. Have you trained in any way this week around that sort of, finishing those chances? Yeah,
look, we work on the way we're going to set up and the way we're going to attack against the opponents that we play, and there's that stuff that we did yesterday as well with the front third. And look, at the end of the day, the most important thing is we're getting in the right areas and we're getting the balls where we try to hurt opponents, and I think we did that against Melbourne City, and just that final execution was what let us down.
And the search for a clean sheet goes on as well. Any growing frustration around that for you?
Yeah, look, the way that we play, when you try to play attacking football, there is a risk element to it. But at the same time, the goals that we've conceded, I don't think we've been really outplayed. I think we've had enough numbers to deal with the situations, the goals that we've conceded, and we've conceded some soft and some sloppy goals. So look, that's something that we try to improve on. I think defensively it's easy to blame individuals, but I think it's a collective because the defensive work starts from the front and goes all the way through to the back. So that's something that we continue to work on, and just be able to cover the ground and try to deal with 1v1 situations.
Squad-wise, I see Finn Sermon and Ben Old have been included in a wider squad you've named for this one. What's the likelihood either of them might see some minutes?
Oldie is ahead of schedule, which is great. We're trying to push him towards this game, but we maybe thought we might need an extra week, but he's been okay in the last couple of days at training. Finn is the same. He's been modified still, not doing everything at the moment, but we'll see how today goes, and we'll go from there.
And no other issues as far as players are concerned?
No other issues at this moment.
All right. Sydney FC, it's a bit of an odd stat that they're the only side, I think, that you it's taken me, 3 minutes to get to this, let's be fair, that you haven't beaten as a Phoenix coach. Is there any frustration around that for you?
Yeah, look, I think there was games that we played well. I can go back to my first season. I think it was round 2 when Libby got sent off. I thought we played some really good football. We went down 1-0, we equalised. I think Uli equalised. And then Rhino scored a freak of a goal that he probably won't score again. So it's one of those games that I think we match up well with Sydney. It's just that getting over that hurdle of, winning that game against them. So, great opportunity for the boys to go out there and perform and try to get a result.
In the context of the season, how important is this one on Saturday night? It's not a must-win, obviously. We're only halfway through, but how big a game is this? Yeah,
it's a very important game. Like I said, we lost our last game against Melbourne City at home where we dropped 3 points. The reality is we'll go there to try to win the game, but it's an away game as well. At the same time, if we get ourselves in a situation where we're not able to do what we want to do, it's very important that we don't lose the game.
And Allianz Stadium, I think it's your first visit there since you left Sydney FC. In fact, I'm not sure you were even playing there when you were there. Something special about going back to a redeveloped stadium?
Yeah, it'll be nice to see the stadium. Obviously, they've put a lot of effort and energy and a lot of money into it. So, it's a brand new stadium, and hopefully the boys can get a good result.
That's Ufuk Talay, coach of the Wellington Phoenix men's side. Also spoke with Phoenix and all-white centre-back Tim Payne. Asked him how happy they were with the performance against Melbourne City, even though the result didn't go their way.
Yeah, I think we have to look at the fact that there was lots of positives from it, but we've also got to be pretty honest and real with ourselves that we've lost another game and conceded 3 more goals, which we've been scoring a lot of goals this season, and I think it's a big emphasis for us and a big important thing moving forward that we need to try and keep a clean sheet because we want to win football games and we want to be in that top 6, even higher. We want to be pushing even higher than that, so that's the goal, and I think we've got to, as I said, be honest with ourselves and do better.
I guess it is one metric that you as defenders look at, the clean sheets, and as you say, none so far this season. Is that frustrating?
Massively so, yeah. I think you can, look at magnitude of different things and whether it's, an unfortunate call or a bad decision here or there. But I think the best teams in the league and the best teams that win competitions have the best defence. So it's an important thing for us, and we're going to try and turn that around hopefully in the coming season.
And how do you do that? What are the things you focus on? I mean, you look at the weekend, one goal's a penalty and the other one's in the 96th minute, so you probably kind of put those to one side. Lecky's goal, I don't know, maybe you do better there. How do you examine it and look to do better?
I think it's first and foremost it's a collective thing. It starts from up top, obviously on the weekend with Oscar and it was up there. But yeah, it's a collective, 11 players in the field trying to work together to stop that. I think also you can look at the way we control the ball. If we control the ball for longer periods and if we lose the ball in good areas, in better areas, and not so bad areas, probably as we have done previously, it's going to be more beneficial for us to keep clean sheets. So I think it probably comes down to, I think we've talked about it before, that game management and being a little bit more professional in certain aspects of the game, which could hopefully help us keep those clean sheets.
You've been in this team for, it's your fourth season now. You made playoffs a couple of times and narrowly missed out the other time. How does this team compare, the way you're playing, the personnel, to the teams that have made playoffs in 2 of the last 3 seasons?
Yeah, for me it probably, it's very early on still, but there's a resemblance of that first year under Ufuk. We're going into games without any fear. We know if we can play to our potential, and we've shown that in patches for a lot of games, that we have the quality all around the park to beat anyone, and it's just about putting that 90-minute performance together. There's comparisons to that. But yeah, look, this is this year, and those are those years, and we've got to try and do as best we can.
You're back into central defence for the last little while, and 2 or 3 games at right back to start the season. Is centre back where you're happiest?
Yeah, probably. I enjoy it there. It's less running, so I'm 29 in a week's time, so I like to think I've got still a little while left in me. It's enjoyable. I think it suits my game, though, same as right back, but yeah, I'm enjoying my time there.
That is Tim Payne from the Wellington Phoenix. They take on Sydney FC tonight, 7 o'clock at Allianz Stadium in Sydney, where I understand it's raining. So it'll be just like being in Wellington for the Phoenix. Pretty big game, actually, for them tonight. If they can get the 3 points against Sydney FC, they get themselves well and truly back into the top 6 mix.